once again from Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Michael Baca and Michael Montero for another edition of 10 Count. Gentlemen, April 22nd from the Mecca of West Coast boxing, the StubHub Center. We have a top-ranked pay-per-view, 3 championship fights on the bill. Headline by the WBO featherweight titleist Oscar Valdez taking on Miguel Marriaga. Also, Jesse Magdaleno and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. They are defending their WBO belts, and it's the professional debut of Shakur Stevenson. Mr. Montero, I know you're not happy as an HBO subscriber that they turned down what I believe is a real fight between Valdez and Marriaga.
I love that main event. I think that that's a really, really good test for Valdez. And I love this card. And the thing that I don't understand about HBO not picking it up, you've got future stars, guys that are going to be on the network. 4 of them. 4 potential stars in the making, right? Among diehard boxing fans, at least, that you could have featured on the network, and you're not doing that. There's one fight card a year that I promised my girlfriend that we go to as fans. And I decided that this one would be it. We're gonna go as fans and hang out at StubHub. I'm not gonna work, so that means I get to drink.
A little tailgating?
Yeah, a little tailgate action, get to relax and enjoy the fights. And this was the one. I thought that top to bottom, this is a fun card. I want to see how Stevenson looks in his pro debut. Don't understand what the hell HBO's doing, man.
What I found mystifying about this and talking to some people at Top Rank, not only did they offer Valdez Marriaga, and this was going to be in like the Tucson area where they believe that he could become the new Michael Carbajal, talking about Oscar Valdez, who grew up there. They also offered Gilberto Ramirez against another undefeated prospect from Philadelphia, Jesse Hart. Mike, again, it's easier to be Monday morning quarterback or the guy in the bleachers telling the GM what to do. But if it's a reasonable license fee, again, I am mystified that HBO bypassed this.
Well, it has to do with their business plan right now. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought it was boxing.
Lack of business plan.
Yeah, exactly. And that Jesse Hart fight would have been a great action fight. Jesse Hart, he has a few losses on his record, but he gives a great fight every time he goes out, and I really love that fight if it would have happened, much more than a Max Bursak fight, which I think, well...
It's a layup.
It is a layup, and Gilberto Ramirez is coming off a hand injury that required surgery, so you kind of have to, fend off from trashing that fight. But I do love that Marriaga versus Valdez fight. One interesting thing I saw over at the press conference, Valdez was pissed. He had a mean look in his face that entire press conference I saw, and I asked him about it. And he told me, I was kind of mad at Marriaga just a little bit because I thought he was looking at my girl. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, well, come to find out, he was looking at my belt. And Valdez is a very proud Mexican, and Mexicans love those belts, and they love standing up for them. He does not want to let it go. I don't think he'll let Marriaga take it, but I think Marriaga has nothing to lose, and he's going to let it all out there on the line against Valdez. And I think that's really the best fight of that entire card.
By far.
Shouldn't be a pay-per-view.
Yeah, the other 2 are layups. Let's be honest. Jesse Magdaleno, he's getting that first free title defense. It's on the house. Like you said, rehabilitation fight for Zurdo Ramirez. Yeah. I know Frank Ramirez, the manager of Valdez, very well. And listen, Marriaga is one of those guys you only face if it's a mandatory. No one's doing this voluntarily. Now, he got shut out by Nicholas Walters, but Walters came in heavy, put an asterisk by that. But I think Valdez, this is really, in my opinion, his first real tough fight.
Yeah, and he had a tough fight at StubHub Center, I want to say, on the Bradley Vargas undercard where he was dropped.
This is his HBO debut, and it was kind of a stinker.
Yeah,
Ruben Tamayo.
That's right, Ruben Tamayo.
Tough matchup.
Tough matchup for him, and he kind of grew up a little bit in the ring. I thought it was a bit of a stinker, but he grew up in the ring. We've kind of seen him grow up in front of our eyes a little bit. This is going to be his big test, and we're going to see it. Look, you talk about Marriaga wanting that title, you talk about Valdez wanting to defend it, and then you add a little bit of that StubHub magic. There's going to be a good crowd for this fight. Tickets are selling well, right? I think all things considered, this is a can't miss. Is it worth buying the pay-per-view? I don't know. In the age of Facebook Live, I'm not so sure.
I think it's worth going and traveling to that fight. That's
this
a great
is one
card
of those
to go
you
to.
buy a ticket and you go with your friends and you tailgate.
You know what doesn't help? that same date, Showtime has a card. You can say what you want. Recognizable names. Andre Berto against Sean Porter.
In New
Hatley
York,
is fighting Charlo. Again, it doesn't help. My question is very simple. Bob Arum has been hinting at all of us, I'm going to do something new. We're going to shake up the business. We don't even need the networks. What's that old Sly Fox have in mind? Because he's already admitted, this pay-per-view, we're not making any money. Okay, but obviously he has something different, and he's always been cutting edge for as old as he is. That company has always been evolving. I wonder, what exactly is this rollout going to consist of?
I think it's going to be a streaming service. I've been saying for a while, the future of this business, at least in North America, with the pay-per-view model, is going to be online with the streaming. The problem right now with the pay-per-view model is you whack up half of your revenue with the provider, whether it be Time Warner or whoever it is. If you can go independent and distribute it yourself, you collect all of that revenue.
Well, they've done that. They did that. Pacquiao Vargas.
They did well on that card.
They did okay.
They need a full-time platform, though, and if they tell the networks to go screw themselves and they can go and do it themselves, eventually, maybe you build guys up on the networks and then you go pay-per-view and distribute it yourself. I think that would be a revolutionary thing in the sport.
If Top Rank isn't going anywhere, and we know that because they have signed guys like Shakur Stevenson and Michael Conlon, and Shakur is making his pro debut on this card. Bob Arum also said, there's something big in store for his, ring entrance, similar to Conlon, McGregor walking him out. Who knows what it's going to be? It'll be another surprise.
It better not be Andre Ward. If that's the big surprise.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess that would be a downer, I guess. But Top Rank, because they have these young guys with big star potential, they are looking forward into technology. And they're going to be I think they're going to be the first to make the splash into that streaming service, just like you said. I do agree with you there. And I think that's the right way to do it. I think WWE did it, didn't they?
Start their own network, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the way to go. Have a monthly subscription fee. Boxing will still be the sport where the fans are still the only ones paying for it, which is still, it is what it is. I mean, I think that has to do with the nicheness of the sport. But, if we don't want pay-per-view, I think the streaming service is going to be the right idea.
Yeah, you take a look at who they have signed out of this Olympic cycle. They've taken a global approach. And Bob's told me recently, Steve, we are not an American promoter. We're a worldwide promoter. And even Conlon, once a year, he will be going to Ireland. They've signed fighters from other parts of the world. Yep. And one thing that the modern technology has done, specifically with the World Wide Web, it has shrunk the world. There used to be a time for championship fights like Linares against Corolla this past weekend. We'd have to wait the next day or get a tape or an old VCR or get a stream. Now Showtime is saying, wait a minute, let's just show this thing on the afternoon. And so the business is evolving, but I do think Arum even realizes that once in a while I have to bite the bullet. Now, people ask me all the time and they're outraged, Steve, how could Arum do this? Been doing this for 30 years. He's had Latin Fury. He's had Pinoy Power. You don't have to like it, but I do understand it, guys. He spends his own money more than any promoter and loses it to advance a career. This is an investment in a career.
Absolutely. It's an investment in several careers.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that, more so than the people that buy or stream this card for free, the people that go to the event and see these fighters, and yeah, there's a few layups there, but they're going to be seeing these guys in the future. I think you're going to build a fan base. And Arum, you talked about it, Steve, he's always cutting edge with this stuff, more than the other American promoters. I think he's taking a look at what guys like Eddie Hearn are doing over in the UK and some of the afternoon fights being aired
what about
internationally.
Golden Boy with the Fight Club doing their own shows, developmental?
It's smart.
Yeah.
And they have a farm system, as we've said before. This is the future of the business, and it's time that we jumped on it because the pay-per-view model, the last great bait and switch was Mayweather-Pacquiao. That's done.
Yeah.
That blew it up. Well, maybe Mayweather-McGregor. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, but you did. But you did. And on that note, we'll end it. So on behalf of Michael Baca and Mr. Michael Montero, this is Steve Kim saying till the next 10 count, goodbye, everybody.